Here at First Energy Stadium, Chris Fedor from cleveland.com joining me here from the Taste of the Browns. It is All-Pro cornerback Joe Haden. Joe, thanks so much for a couple of minutes. You got your first home opening win yesterday. Can you put into words what that meant to you?
Man, it was big, man. It was big for the team, big for the city. I mean, it was a long time coming. We've been working really hard, extremely hard, since the OTA's training camp to finally get a win. And I think it's going to just put us to go in the right direction.
Has it sunk in yet that you just beat the New Orleans Saints?
Oh yeah, it sunk in. It sunk in pretty quick, man. I was super excited. I mean, just the way that the way our team we've been working, and for us to be able to beat a good team in the Saints, man, I think it speaks volume.
You play the Steelers tough in the first game in the second half, and then you win the game yesterday against the New Orleans Saints. Are you guys starting to feel more confident as this season goes on, thinking, hey, we can play with anybody at this point?
I mean, we know we can play with anybody. We definitely do that, and then we just feel like now we know that at the end of the game we can make plays to win it. In previous seasons we haven't been able to close out, but being able to close out that game versus the Saints, with Hoyer being able to have that long drive, and I mean, it's just very impressive, and I'm very happy, proud of our team, and it's definitely going to give us momentum going into the Ravens.
Joe, as one of the leaders of the defense, when Brian Hoyer took the ball there at his own 4-yard line, knowing that you needed a field goal or a touchdown to win, what was going through your mind?
I mean, I was just hoping that all this 2-minute drills and everything that we do at practice was going to get to the game. And I'm just very proud of Hoyer and Barnage and Miles and everybody that stepped up and made plays when it needed to be made. I mean, it just speaks volume on them and just their preparation. They were doing it in practice, and they just brought it to the game.
Joe, after the game yesterday, Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, was talking about how confusing your defense was for him at times. You were showing looks that he didn't necessarily see a lot last year, and even in the first game against Atlanta. As one of the leaders of the defense, what does that say to you?
I mean, we have a really, really good scheme. Our coach, our defensive coordinator, is a really good defensive coordinator, man. He schemed it up a lot, and it just goes with everybody knowing their assignment, just playing off. We have a lot of people just disguising really well. Our safeties playing really well, nickelbacks acting like they're blitzing from the boundary. So we just were just disguising really well, and if you can fool Drew Brees, man, you'll be doing pretty good.
You've had a couple of games now with Mike Pettine. You had a whole training camp with him. Are you starting to understand why the Browns tabbed him as the head coach?
Yeah, man. I really like him a lot, man. I mean, he's definitely a diehard. I mean, just the way he carries himself is the way that the Cleveland is. He's a gritty guy that likes defense, and he just expects a lot out of his players.
Two big additions to the defense this offseason in Dante Whitner and Carlos Dansby. Just really quick, what does it mean to have those kinds of guys, those leaders running the defense?
It's always good to have. You have veteran leadership, and then especially having somebody like Dante that comes from a winning organization. When he leaving from San Francisco, and he's just used to winning. And we need people like that in our locker room just to try to change the atmosphere.
Now that you got one win, what's been the message from Mike Pettine, and what's been the message from the leaders in the locker room about handling prosperity?
The thing is that I like is we lost the first week, and our coach always said, don't let one loss turn into two. And the same thing with wins. You can't let that win just sink over, and you can't just live on that. So we won the game, had a great time Sunday night. Monday, watched the film, get the corrections, and then Tuesday we went to the Ravens. So the biggest thing is just moving forward and trying to get that same feeling we had against the Ravens.
Browns Pro Bowl cornerback Joe Haden joining us here at First Energy Stadium. Thanks so much, Joe.
No, thank you.